United States is going to have a review of whether the AUKUS agreement is consistent with the America First positioning of the Trump regime. What do you read into that?
As is so often the case when these sorts of things do happen, the timing can be very important and indicative. I can't answer the question, but my question would be not why is such a review considered necessary, because I think sooner or later that was always going to happen, but what's happened to make it necessary now? And then I think the next thing to do is look at who are the people doing it. And Colby is known to us in Australia.
As a skeptic of AUKUS.
Indeed. Whilst I wouldn't say that anyone should assume that the outcome of this review is easy to see and guess with any confidence, I don't think that would be wise at all. What's not clear is, so why now and why him? And is this something which, especially noting too, of course, that they're likely to turn to us and say, you're not getting any from a number of points of view. My greater concern is that they will turn to us one day and say, you're not ready. There's no way in the world we're going to hand over these submarines to you because you yourselves are not ready to be able to safely operate them.
And is that a legitimate concern or just an excuse?
Well, I think it's a legitimate concern. I do. I really do.
In which case, from an Australian perspective as well as an American one then?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we ought to be very concerned about that, because if you see it from a US administration point of view, being seen to back out of an agreement is one thing. Being seen to not honour because the other party hasn't met the requirements, that's quite different.
Yeah. Let's go back from there to the alternative scenario where we're not relying on the US as consistent, dependable strategic ally and trying to figure out what is actually in our own interests. What does that mean about what we need to spend money on? And if it's possible to go from that to say, how much do we need to spend?
Well, this is a question that you and indeed others have asked me very recently in the media, and I'm very reluctant to give any sort of definitive answer because, I would say, well, look, I'm doing a lot of research and analysis at the moment that points to the fact that the Navy is the weakest Navy we have had since probably about the 60s or 70s. And we're not going to get back to the same level of relative strength to our own Navy's strength in 1993-4. We're not going to get back to that level before close to 2040. That train has left the station and it's almost impossible for us to avoid it.